All right. I think I'm live. I hope I am. um, I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here, only because I'm in the apartment by myself right now. It's been snowing. Well, yesterday it snowed a lot in Atlanta, and it's been like little flurries throughout the day today. And luckily, I'm able to get to this apartment um, from my house to check on my brother. And I've kind of started making some boundaries for myself. And it seems as though my brother is trying to test my boundaries because think about it, like somebody who's 3 years old. They want what they want and they don't really care about what other people want and what they need. Okay. But as somebody 47 and mentally ill. So he wants what he wants and he does not care about what other people need and want. He doesn't care about what he needs either, quite honestly, if I'm just gonna be frank right now. I try to have an adult conversation with him about those kinds of things, for accountability. And a part of, I guess, his particular form of mental illness is where everybody else is to blame. And I mean that seriously. Like, this is not me um, going into pop psychology or whatever. Like, his diagnosis is that he believes the world is against him. And I'm going to eat while I talk a little bit, but he believes the world is against him. And he believes that everybody is conspiring against him. He is super anxious and he does not trust anybody until it's too late. Okay. What I mean by that is this before he got to Atlanta. He went missing and for a week or so he was missing, like missing. Okay. But when he's like clear-headed, then he calls for help, but it's at seriously the most inappropriate, inconvenient time ever. Okay. So when one of the times when he was missing, he finally reached out and called me. Was a Saturday night around 12:30 in the morning. Okay. I'm in Atlanta. He's still in Alabama. And he's calling me. He's like, "Can you come get me?" I'm like, "I'm 2.5 hours away from you right now. And I cannot, but you can call your caregivers at the time, which were only 20 minutes away." I gave him the phone number. I told him to call them. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. And so he went missing for another almost week and a half, I think. Okay. So this is what I'm dealing with. Um, Now, what I'm also dealing with is he'll say one thing and then he'll want the opposite thing a few minutes later or a day later. He wants the opposite. And then he gets mad at me like I did something to him about it. But he has a short term memory. So I can't get mad at him. Yeah. So this morning, uh, as far as like my own boundaries, I can check and see like certain things from his phone because it is my phone technically if you must be honest. So I tried calling him and he doesn't answer unless he might answer. Um he does not answer voicemail. He will maybe answer a text message, and that's on a normal basis. So this morning, I just said, you know what? I need my morning. I'm not even gonna bother. We're snowed in ish in the city. Can't go anywhere. He wants to go to the movie. I told him yesterday. It's like we can't go to the movies. Um, and so I didn't even really check my phone until around noon or 1 o'clock. and then I see that his battery is dead, and so I come over here. And apparently he got locked out of the apartment, um, and somebody helped him get back in. And I've been already having these conversations with him about making sure that you're taking care of yourself because I can't always be there. Like, for example, snowstorm. If I'm snowed out somewhere, I can't get to you. So I think it's kind of like the other video I was talking about where people just assume women must be the caregivers and they give up all control. And but I'm still a grown up, like he tried to pull one of those the other day. He was like, "Well, I'm grown." I was like, "Yeah, you are. That's why you need to learn how to take care of yourself." Um, but that's still that unspokenness of, well, she's gonna take care of me. I say, what if I can't? You know? Um, you have to be able to do it. And what I did mention to him is that I see that you can make plans for other things that are not that important. I didn't put that part in, but he can make plans for other things that is important to him, that maybe taking your medicine should be important. Okay. I just try to lay it out to him just like an adult, but from what I thought he was taking it seriously, he really wasn't. He was over there doodling away, being very passive aggressive, but hopefully he heard the words. But one day I might not be here, so he has to learn how to do it on his own. Um, and again, I've mentioned this where he never got a chance to do life skills when he was younger, like most of us did. So he's on a learning curve. He has to learn how to do what other people already do. And I can understand how he could be like scared about it because he hasn't done it. And it's either that or he'll go from 0 to 100 in a second. It's like, "Well, that means I need to go back to the hospital then." I was like, "No, it doesn't. It means you need to learn how to do it." If you're so concerned about hunting down y'all, okay, so this week he's been obsessed with getting some microwave popcorn that he spent all his money that I gave him, like, all of his money. He had enough money to have food for the month. I went ahead and gave it to him. He spent it all in 3 days. I don't who knows what he spent it on. But he kept telling me, "I need popcorn. I need popcorn." I was like, "Well, you can use your money to do that." "No, I don't have enough money." I was like, "Well, that's what grown-ups deal with. That's what adults deal with." I said, like, "I'm not gonna buy you popcorn just because you went and spent your money." A lot of money, y'all, and this is not, like, pocket change money. I gave him the money that he could easily have bought groceries for a month with. So yeah, somehow he went and found some popcorn, and I hate to say that he probably is going around begging people now, and that's kind of it's em- it is embarrassing. It's embarrassing that he is used to begging like that, you know. But then on the same flip side or whatever, he wants to claim like I'm an adult, I'm a grown up. It's like, yeah, you are, but you're not acting like it. And so that's kind of where we are right now. I'm not going to argue with him because he is mentally ill. There is no reasoning with him because he's mentally ill. I am I am working on things that will protect him so that he does not go if he does go up missing again, that kind of thing. Hopefully it won't be tragic, okay? But yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. It's not easy, especially when he thinks that he knows he's mentally ill, but then at the same time he doesn't believe he's mentally ill, if that makes sense. That's a part of his mental illness. Um so yeah, so I told him about his voices and his thoughts. He got mad about that. I'm like, "Look, listen, I already know what's going on." It's like I'm just showing you what you're already doing, what's already happening. You can be mad about it. It's okay to be mad about it. I even, I put up some posters on some things because what's going to happen is he's going to forget. So that's why I can't argue with him. He's not going to remember. So I just went ahead and started putting up posters about emotional intelligence, about life, having getting some life skills, things like that, and hope that eventually it starts sinking in for him. But other than that, I mean, I really can't reason with him because there's no reason there. He'd sooner go beg people for popcorn. I don't know where he got it from, but he got it. So that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm not going to lose myself. And a lot of people do talk about this. You can't, um, if somebody wants to be saved, they will be saved. I mentioned this in my journaling last night or the other night, where you can present all of the ingredients for success for somebody, but until they put the materials together and put in the work, then it's not going to happen. And that's kind of where I am right now. So I'm giving him all the keys to success. It's up to him now if he wants to do it or not. If he wants to challenge those thoughts or voices or whatever it is. He is doing it though. And that's what I did acknowledge. It's like I see you're making a lot of progress, but you could be making more progress if you actually made a plan to take your medicine instead of making plans to walk to so and so or this way and that or write. It's kind of funny. It's like he's writing notes to himself to scheme on me, but I can read the notes. He's writing notes like tell Monica to like this, and this. And I'm like, but I can see that note. I see it. So stuff like that where yeah, I do feel bad for him. That is a horrible place to be in having mental illness on this level. And I don't know. Like I said, I can only provide him with the care, like present him with all the materials to be successful. But unless he's like really working towards it, I can't. But he has been, but and now I'm just, as they say, turning the screw a little bit. Like we're up in the stakes because there will be a time where I can't be here every day. And that's the flip side of it. So as much as he's like grumbling about, oh, well, send me back to the hospital and this and that, he's wanting me to stay over every night so he can do whatever he wants. See, that's the other thing that I just can't do when it comes to that boundary. He wants me here, even though he's not here. He wants me here to tell him to take his medicine that he won't take. Okay. So he wants somebody here as an anchor, I guess, to save him from himself, but he doesn't want to do it. But then he's an adult. It gets really complex. It really does. So, um, I'm trying to guard my peace at this point where I'm just going to keep a routine as best I can. Snowstorm prevented a lot of routine that could have happened. Um, but for the most part, um, he knows where to be for sleeping and eating. Okay. He wants extra things or whatever, but I'm presenting the factual things that he needs to do. It's up to him if he wants to do them or not. That's all I can really do. I'm not going to argue with him. Gave him paperwork over there. You work on it. If you think, again, he thinks he's doing things behind my back. And I'm like, I already know what you're doing. I already see what you're doing. And I'm trying to prevent you from losing your benefits at the same time. So presenting him with information, that's all I can really do. And he can like it or not like it, or, you know, start working on emotional intelligence so he can have resilience and not sit around and play. I'm not me trying to be careful with what I say. He's not playing victim. He really has been victimized. Now he's in a place where he can recover and be better. And I don't know if he's aware of that yet. I think he's still stuck. As they say, what you can take the boy out of the city and you can't take the city out of the boy or something like that. It is. That's still in him. This mindset of they're against me. He is still there, even though who who's against you? He doesn't know anybody except for me here. And speaking of, he just asked for one of my friend's phone numbers. So it's also like little brother vibes where he's like trying to like make a life out of my life. It's like not everybody wants to be friends with you, friend. Like they have families, they got children, they got a job to go to. They can't drop everything like me apparently to come see about you. Okay? People have lives. And I'm not saying that to pity me either. It's like that's why again I'm doing my boundaries. So it's got to start happening. It's like if you're not gonna be here, why am I here? I'm working at least. At least I brought my work with me today. Okay. And then he's saying, "Oh, you're gonna spend the night?" Because again, that's what he really wants. He's afraid still, and he's expecting somebody else to tell him what to do, so he doesn't have to do it. But yet he wants to go run around and do all the the things and live in his imaginary world. Yeah. Yeah, so that's me just kind of unloading a little bit. But yeah, it's not all peaches and cream as I can see the weather is turning right now. But I will have my own life and he will have his own life. But right now he's definitely leeching on me and kind of like I don't know, this is what I imagine what a lot of women um, deal with when they marry somebody who is just weirdo and they got to put up with certain things. It's like I don't have to. And a lot of people ask me, why don't you have him at your house? Yeah, a couple of reasons. One of them is I'm renovating. Reason number two is for this reason. So, when his symptoms start showing up, I was like, I can go home and have my peace. That's why. Okay. He is an adult. But if he's at my house, then I promise you it would be a whole lot different. He wouldn't have lasted 2 weeks there living at my house. I'm gonna just be honest. Cause yeah. But, it is what it is. And so yeah, it's one of those days. Some days you just can't win them all. But again, as they say, take the L. It's a lesson. Lesson for me. I'm presenting him all that I can do, stating the facts. You can like the facts or not like the facts or whatever. And that it is what it is. All right. So with that, I say, please stay warm. Take care.